Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Manino and Nareman Hamdan, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hey guys, I'm Nareman Hamdan, and this is Driven Unscripted Success podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. So we have a great guest on today. We have actually been trying to get together since October. So I suppose life happens, and hence his position in global affairs. But we have Sergio Fernandez. Sergio Fernandez has been in the global trade and customs regulatory. He's an executive for over 15 years. So what he does basically is he leads multinational compliance, risk, and tariff optimization strategies across 30 plus countries. He's a trusted advisor to senior leadership, driving multi-million-dollar savings, strengthening governance, and enabling cross-border operations through scalable, data-driven trade programs. With leveraging multilingual fluency in English, Spanish, and Portuguese to navigate diverse regulatory and cultural environments. How are you, Sergio?
I'm doing great, Nareman. Happy to be here after all those months. And thank you so much for the invite. I'm just excited to have this conversation with you.
Absolutely. I'm excited to speak with you as well. So why don't we kick things off with, why don't you give us a little snapshot of what your business is right now and what your company does?
Well, I'm a global trade professional. I have been working in this industry for more than 15 years. I'm not like an independent company. I work now for FIFA, doing this whole customs and international freight for the organization of the FIFA World Cup 2026, which is really exciting project that I have now. I have experience in several big companies like DHL, FedEx, Ernst & Young, and also GE. And those gave me a lot of exposure in different areas, working in different countries, and also a lot of exposure in different cultures. That's something that I'm very grateful. Just applying all those experience now with FIFA, which is again another multicultural environment with more than 40 countries working now. And also with Mexico, Canada, and US. That's the most phenomenal job that I have already, which is kind of my dream come true, as I'm a totally passionate fan of football, soccer. And I'm just living my dream now.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. So you've got what your passion is in soccer and following that, and then your passion in global trading and optimizing that for companies, and throw the two together. I mean,
yeah,
you're like a kid in a candy store. That's
exactly.
fantastic. Lucky you.
I'm living every day like it's Christmas here.
Good for you. That's awesome. So when you think back, are there any moments that you'd say really changed the game for your career?
Yeah, I guess. Going back when I was in the university, I knew, since I was a child, that I'm going to work with global trade. My father is a customs broker, so I have that clear in my mind that I'm going to become customs broker at some point in my life. And another thing that I have clarity was I didn't want to stay in Peru. So I'm a lawyer by main background. So the problem with having a law degree in South America is sometimes you are just closer to work in your country. And I tried I was dreaming about to take my career into the next step, to have an international exposure. So that's why I changed almost 180 degrees my approach. So I said, I'm going to become a customs broker. I'm going to turn to logistics, international global trade. And that's what I did since I just ended the university. I didn't work as a lawyer because I was fully into going to logistics and customs and global trade.
Sure.
So that thing, having that vision since I was a kid and since I was young, it allowed me to have very clear decisions to which companies I'm going to work with. So if you see my resume, all the companies that I have experience are international companies that can open me the opportunity to go abroad, to get out of my country, to have this kind of exposure. And that's what happened to me with DHL in 2016. So DHL, I was working in DHL Peru for 3 years, and then I have the opportunity to speak with one of the auditors that came to audit my process.
Mhm.
And I thought, like this is like your 3 minutes elevator speech. I have experience with audit. I have experience with global trade. I really create a lot of processes. If you have one day an opportunity in your team, this is my card. Please think about me, like that. So it was like 5 minutes
Sure.
before they went to the airport, and 2 weeks after that, Wolfgang, that was my manager, he called me. Like, he said, like I'm becoming a manager of the team. I'm looking for my replacement. Are you willing to come to US? I was like, why not? I'm going to apply. So I apply, and 2 months after that, I'm just packing my bags and going to US. And then this is just 10 years ago. So that's how life goes. You need to be courage. You need to have clarity of what you want, and you need to have your decisions. And just like, I guess, if you have a clarity of what you want, everything falls down. You have a plan.
Sure.
You have like that step by step, right? But clarity is one of the main things.
Sure. So, how do you deal with taking risks? And is there a time when rolling the dice really worked out for you?
Well, I'm a risk taker all the time. Now that I have a family, it's kind of different. But I always expose myself to the things that I are not comfortable for me because it makes me grow. Uh, I'm really try to analyze what is going to be the outcome at the end. But technically, if something aligns with what I want at the end, I'm gonna go for it. So it's like this role in FIFA, it's like it was just magic. Like having my both passions working together every day is just
Wow.
a totally deal, like win to win for me. So that's how I work with risk. Uh, but it's like if you don't take risk, you probably will regret. I don't like to regret to think about things that what could happen, right? I really am proud of every single decision that I made in my life and not regret anything. And
Sure.
that's where I am, right? Because of probably good or bad decisions that I take. And it's because the risk is the 50-50 always that you are going to expose yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. So, everyone hits a bump in the road every now and then. Can you share a time things didn't pan out and how you got through it?
Resilience is something that it was in my mind every single morning. You need to be your hero. Sometimes things doesn't work in the way that you want, but the
Sure.
only person that will take it out of that hole is yourself. So that's my mindset. Like I can be in any kind of problems, but my mind is always stronger to get where I want. And I can deal with different type of people that they sometimes they don't. You cannot be liked by everyone. Like people are tough sometimes. Like it's life, it's corporate, right? But if
Mhm.
you have clear what you are, who you are, and what you want to become, that have like the base that creates the whole base for the resilience to go into the next step.
Sure.
So it's really hard to broke if you have that clarity in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure leading a team has its challenges. What's your leadership style? And can you give us an example of how it helped you through a tough spot?
Well, for me, I'm a people person, a people manager. I always try to motivate the persons that I'm surrounded in my team. I guess one of the main like strengths that I have as a leader, as a manager, is like having to create an environment that people feel safe. People can share with you what it motivates them, and also like they can feel that you have their back. So people
Sure.
like sometimes if you are like younger than the people that you are managing, it's even tough. But you
Sure.
need to make them feel comfortable. You need to have these people skills. You need to trust in people. You cannot put them in a trial in the first problem that they have, and it's because that is terrible. But it's like for me, it's having strong leadership, strong connection with the people, and knowing them what they really want and what they want to become, and support. If you don't support your people, if you don't know them, if you don't spend time, if you don't like having what they motivates, then it's really difficult to go through a team that it's
Sure.
have challenge. If you have that kind of main work doing with the team is through going to any kind of war with you. Like I have the back of my team. I have like 35 people in DHL. I remember in the warehouse, we didn't have AC. We have like 35 it
Yeah.
was super hot warehouse. We were working 24 hours, 7 days per week. Like, but those guys, they have my back and I have their back as well. So we were supporting each other because we were a really like close team, and the communication is like critical as well. So that's main parts of what can make a strong a leader in a tough environment.
Absolutely. So when you're building your dream team, what's the one trait you look for and why?
I guess it's attitude. People that want to be better, that want to learn, wants to become the best of themselves, is that kind of like skill that, like positive attitude that I'm looking always. People that want to learn, that want to be the best for them and for their families is just a no-brainer for me. Like, I guess knowledge you can teach, but that kind of behavior, like skills and motivation, people that are
Sure.
self-motivated is difficult to find. So that's kind of the way that I choose my people.
That makes sense. How do you encourage your team to think outside of the box and bring new ideas to the table?
It's nothing is written in a rock.
Right.
Things change, and if you start to sell, I mean, if you have a project and you really you need to really know what you want to offer or what you want to put in the table, because it's something that if you don't believe in what you want, it's impossible to sell that to others. So if you don't
Oh, for
believe
sure.
in the change that you want to make, and how you can just know like 360 degrees what you want, it's really difficult to sell to the people. And I guess it's also the way that you need to be consistent, and you need to show them how the things can be different. And the people, once they start to see the numbers, they start to see the results, then they start to change the mind. You cannot just uh, put 2 or 3 steps back because people are going to reject you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You need to just keep working, keep showing, keep telling them that things can be different. And I just broke a lot of statements and things to do as always, because this is like as an auditor, when I was an auditor, people, they always said, we always do the things in this way. And
Sure.
that's probably my main red flag, because it looks like nobody looks behind the rug. Nobody want to go out of the box. So it's just like showing results, showing numbers. It's, I guess, the best way to break the ice in that kind of like, we do always in the same way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what's a day in your life look like? How do you juggle work and everything else?
My day today now, it's really uh, now with kids and everything. It's, I'm just trying to divide everything by priorities. Of course, you have like different like main priorities now, that is work, family, and my passions, like that falls now in the third. Like family is always first, work it comes, and my passions are always that something that I always try to do like a little space of what I want, because otherwise I'm gonna feel empty in some way, right? I
Sure.
try to feel my passions, I try to feel my hobbies in a really, but every comes on how I put my priorities, how I organize my agenda. I wake up really, really early, and I go to bed like 10 a.m. or something, but I wake up and since 5 a.m. I'm trying to make a space for myself, try to make a space for the kids. I'm trying to make a space as well for work. Trying to deal
Sure.
with that, everything at once is one of the main challenges to have that next step. But it's the weekends are just for the kids, like something that is time goes fast, and it's for
Yes.
me. The people that you have surrounded, they start growing, and especially with the kids, everything changed. If you asked me that question 3 years ago, I will say a totally different statement.
Oh, for
But
sure.
now it's like I
Yeah.
have some hobbies that I need to just like put them apart because priorities change. But yeah, that's life.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you on the kids. My kids are in high school. So, it's different phase with everything. You sound like you have young kids. Yeah, cherish each and every moment because I mean, I've heard people say to me when my kids were really young, "Oh, it goes by fast. Make sure you cherish every moment." And I mean, sure enough, I have one going off to college next in the fall, and
Wow.
I'm just like, how did we get to this point? When did this happen?
Yeah,
You know? I mean, it's another beautiful phase in life, and I'm like, what do you mean you're leaving?
exactly. I mean, you need to be
So,
present and enjoy every phase, right?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, has there been a book, a podcast, or someone that's really changed your outlook or approach?
Simon Sinek, he has a podcast. Simon Sinek talk about a lot of leadership, a lot of corporate, a lot of positive ways to see the life.
Sure.
I guess hearing his podcast, his TED conference, it it has a lot of impact in the way that I work, in the way that I react, and in the way that I used to see life before. It's very inspirational, like the way that he can handle and how he can share positivism in every single part of his life. And for me, it's really inspiring how I see him every podcast and every thing that he shared. And I remember something that I was running like a New York marathon last year. I saw him in the crowd and I was like, oh my God, should I stop to say hello or something? Like, then it was like so many people and I lost sight. But it was that guy. He had a lot of positive things to share, and I'm learning a lot of him.
That's nice. I like when you have speakers or podcasters that just are always positive in every aspect of their life. The glass is always full. It's never
Exactly.
empty. It's never a quarter full. It's always full, and there's always a solution, which is refreshing. So, how do you tackle learning new things and especially stuff that's way outside of your comfort zone?
Somebody needs to do the work and somebody needs to learn those things. And I'm always willing to go out of my comfort zone and always willing to go to the battle, to the first line. I don't care. I know sometimes I don't take shortcuts in life. I always want to go through the things that if something needs to be done, I'm willing to go and willing to learn new things. And I don't care if probably those things doesn't have nothing to do with global trade. I need to put my hands and learn. That's the way that I feel fulfillment in my life because new challenge comes probably not with easy task, right?
Sure.
And solving problems for me just make me feel happy. So that's one part of those things.
Yeah. And how have you balanced personal growth and professional demands throughout your career?
Personal growth
Well,
for me, I need to take care of myself first. Nobody's gonna take care of myself. If you want to have professional career, professional paths, you need to know how far you want to go. You need to go. You need to know your organization, and also You need to check if there is an opportunities or not, because
sure.
nobody's gonna give you that opportunity to you if you don't see them, if you don't fight for them, and if there is like a lot of closed doors in your organization. I mean, if one party is boring, you are like you can join another party. That's how I think in life.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if the music doesn't, if you don't like the music in that party, just move to the other party. And that comes a lot with a lot of sacrifice as well. And I made those changes in the last years, and it's for me. Every time that I do these kind of decisions, it's just I can feel the growth. That's because as a person, I feel fulfilled myself, and I feel that happiness, and I like it's just an experience. And if you are willing to take the risk, the experience is more enrichment for you.
Sure,
That's
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So if you had one nugget of advice for someone wanting to follow in your footsteps, what would it be?
I mean,
Run.
it's tricky, but you know what? This is something that I do. You need to be ready every time for the next challenge, which means you need to be willing to risk whatever you have in your hands in terms of like if you are offering a role that is a lot of sacrifice, you need to be willing to do that sacrifice. If
Sure.
you are offering a role to just go outside of your country, and you need to be courageous to start again. I mean, you have some time, some topics that you can negotiate. Like if you are single, no kids, go for it. Go to Mars. You know,
Right. Go all the way.
exactly. And I would say like you
Stop.
need to take in advantage the time of your life, the position that you have. If you don't have dependence, just go for it, all in, all the time. That
Yes.
was my mindset until I got married, and then I need to think for twice, and then I got kids, and that every things go like a little bit complicated. But once I was willing,
Yes.
when I was by myself, you can go fast by yourself, but you can go like further with the company. Like that's
Sure.
it's
Sure.
kind of the way that I think. But if there is people that are experienced, that are younger people that are wanted to have this kind of global trade experience, I will say just
Oh, I had you out. You froze up a little bit.
okay.
Okay. Um, so while it sounds like things are going very well for you in your business, as you're looking towards the future, I'm wondering if or how you create passive income or what investments you have.
Well, for passive income, I'm looking to get into the like it's not day trade by trading. That's one of the things that I'm looking for. But also, I have a side to get into e-commerce
Okay.
because it's like something that I'm really passionate about as well. And I have like 3 years working on that in my side, getting into developing products to get into the e-commerce business. I have so many failures with that. Like e-commerce platforms are not the best. But I told the people that I have this project with, every time that we have a failure, we are one step closer to make it
Yes.
better. Like I'm not afraid of failure. That's the path that we need to go to have success. And
Sure.
that's what I look for. Like I'm between launching products and launching experience in the commerce part, but that's how I look myself. Probably in the future or aside part of my role or the work that I do, but definitely that's the path that I'm looking for.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, and you said, that you embrace failures. And I feel the same way because without failure, it's not possible to succeed.
Exactly.
Without learning what you're doing and how you're doing it and failing. And then you're like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Why did it fail? Because of this. So then you figure out different strategies and, you're working with a group. So it's a good thing. And once you hit it, it's like, Mamma mia. And everybody's high fiving because it's been so, just you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I get it. I get you've got the entrepreneurial spirit there. So you've got the bug.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have planned for the next 6 to 12 months? What do you got going on?
Well, like one of them is relaunching my e-commerce platform. This is one of the things that I'm working now, and also get some certifications that I was missing. to get like more acknowledgement and more in terms of global trade. We have a lot of things going on, and also like compliance wise, it's something that I'm looking to complete the puzzle of my whole profile to make a stronger global trade profile for myself with those
Sure.
certifications. And that's what I'm looking to work in the next 6 to 12 months in those two things, like making stronger profile in global trade and also working in my site with the group that I have in terms of e-commerce. That's the thing that I'm looking. Just don't like getting lost in this kind of plan, because
Yes.
I know that I have a lot of responsibilities in between. But that's like step by step, I will get there. This is
Yeah.
how I look like.
Yeah, I could see that smile on your face. You're gonna get there. So, and you're having fun with the process of getting there and the whole system that's being placed and set up. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Sergio, for coming on today and taking the time to share your insights and tips with us. If people wanted to connect with you, how does one connect with you?
They can reach out to me by LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is S Fernandez Q, or with my name, Sergio Fernandez. It's easy to find there, and that's, I guess, the most like easy way to connect with me in terms of like professional way.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much again for coming on. It was definitely awesome talking to you. And thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to get a hold of Sergio Fernandez, head over to LinkedIn and send him a connect request or reach out through there. Thanks again. We'll see you guys soon. Bye,
Thank you,
Sergio.
Nana. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.